It can certainly be said that we're earning our stripes in crypto right now. Those of us who are still here, we're going to make it. Those who are fair-weathered friends and who are exiting the market right now are not going to make it. And this is because the backdrop behind the price action is super bullish for crypto. The trend is going to go upwards. I think we're going to see some big green candles one of these days. Who knows exactly when, but I want to be there watching the chart go absolutely parabolic when that time comes. So in this video, we're going to look at some of the reasons to be bullish, some of the news behind what's going on right now, and why we shouldn't be continually looking at price action. I think seller exhaustion is almost here. So as ever, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new here and show your appreciation and tickle that thumbs up icon. The morning routine right now is a big dose of Hopium, looking for all the positive reasons to stay in the market and positive news stories that are out there. And there are plenty of them that we're going to look at. Before that though, let's have a little look at the price action and the Wyckoff accumulation that may be going on right now. So I found this on Twitter quite a few times and it looks rather interesting right now. It's the Wyckoff accumulation schematic here, and it's been laid over the current market move. And as you can see from this diagram, it does appear that we're kind of almost certainly following this out. After having the Wyckoff distribution phase that we covered a few weeks back, it looks like we're now during the accumulation phase, where you have these big movements to the downside. You have one low, an even lower low, and then a third and final low that acts as a springboard to eventually test the resistance that we've just seen, which is currently around 40k, and then eventually push through the resistance and break out once more. And if we just look at the daily price action over here, on the 19th we had our first big drawdown and the candle close was around this area, around 36k, although we did see wicks down to the high 29,000 regions as those liquidation engines went into overdrive. We then saw an even lower candle body close here on the 23rd of May, and then yesterday we saw our lowest candle body close on the daily at around $33,000. So 1, 2, and 3, we may be in this springboard area with 1, 2, and a final and third push to the downside. If we also look at the duration that this is actually mapping over, you can see that it's mapped out quite nicely across this schematic here. And if we are now in this spring area, it looks as if we're maybe a day or so out from this exactly, but that's showing that we're going to push out of this area around the 19th, maybe 20th of June. So over the next couple of weeks, it'll be really interesting to continue to follow this and see if this does play out. This would actually suggest over the coming week, we push towards those resistance lines, which are currently at around the $40,000 area. So this weekend, early next week, hopefully we can push into this territory. And as we know, when Bitcoin starts to move in a bullish way again, the altcoins will start to break out. And to be honest with you, they're not looking all that bad right now. In terms of the big caps here, BTC up to $35,000, a 10% bounce on the day. Ethereum up 5.6%, still at 2,500. And to be honest, this looks very, very strong. If we go to the 180-day here versus BTC only, that is not a bad looking chart against Bitcoin whatsoever. We're currently at around 7,100,000 sats per Ethereum. The market cap of ETH is now over 300 million. January the 1st, we were at 84 million. So a big change in fortunes over the course of the first half of this year. You can't forget we've come a long way already. And if we look at some of the biggest gainers over the last 24 hours out of the top 100, the likes of Telcoin, AMP, Kusama, just to name a few, have been putting in huge green candles. They don't want to keep going down forever. I think we're seeing seller exhaustion for most of these altcoins at this point. The people who are left holding them really don't want to be selling, and they're looking ripe to bounce back and bounce back hard. So even though price is down, fundamentals of the market are going up. A couple of weeks back, we covered this, Apple trying to secure an alternative payments manager to clearly onboard their crypto-related endeavors. And I mentioned during that video that once the likes of Apple start to make moves in this sector, your Facebooks, Amazons, Microsofts, your Googles will all follow suit. And we've now got this news that Amazon has a job listing seeking a blockchain lead. So these big tech companies will not see others innovate where they don't, and thus Amazon is pushing forward. Jeff Bezos, absolute savage businessman, and from this article it looks like they're trying to get their feet wet in DeFi. So the internet giant looks to create business use case across DeFi. So according to this report, which is from their actual job post, they're hiring a head of product to lead their blockchain innovation team called AMB, the Amazon Managed Blockchain. Since the firm's inception, Amazon has disrupted the online world via technological innovation, and now it wants someone to help with blockchain technology. Clearly, when there's a big innovation in the world, Amazon are not going to be left behind. They've already got these warehouses with robots moving all the stock about, and so plugging into blockchain for logistics, supply chain management, monitoring like sell-by dates for some of the food and things that they distribute now. Even here in the UK, you can get your groceries delivered by Amazon. It makes a perfect fit for their business model. It's going to streamline things and make them even more profitable. And that's essentially what Jeff Bezos cares about, the bottom line. The post reads, "Come join us to head product on the Amazon Managed Blockchain team. The AMB is a fully managed service that accelerates customers' ability to create and leverage scalable blockchain technology for current and innovative business use cases across DeFi, supply chain, financial services, identity, and more. All things that blockchain are massively disruptive for are things that they're looking to innovate with." So this is going to be a huge job role, and I'm sure we're going to see even more products being offered by Amazon as time goes forward. They really are encompassing every single type of business out there right now, and maybe they will monopolize more industries than we can actually imagine. They do things like offer credit plans. How long before they offer savings through DeFi on there? Or maybe they would offer you the credit plans via DeFi applications to make the rates even lower as a competitive advantage. Any service that Amazon maybe uses that is not theirs, I see them just shortcutting, adding a blockchain shortcut to this, and then bringing out their own solution. So I think this is a sign of things to come. They've got a ton of crypto-related jobs listed on their website, which is rather impressive. So big tech making big moves in the crypto space is clearly a bullish signal. Then we have this. BTC legal tender passes with a supermajority. News from El Salvador here through the Salvadoran Congress that they approved with a huge cascading vote of 62 in favor and 22 against. So Bitcoin is now legal tender here, and the purpose of this law is to regulate Bitcoin as an unrestricted legal tender with liberating power, unlimited in any transaction, and to any title that public or private natural or legal persons require carrying out. You will not therefore have to pay capital gains on your BTC in this country anymore. They're becoming very, very crypto friendly in a very quick time frame, and I think this will cause a cascading effect across other South American countries that we're already starting to see, and other smaller nations are really going to jump on this because they got nothing really to lose and a huge amount of upside to gain from. So could we see these second or third world countries become first world countries a lot quicker due to the fact they can take advantage of the crypto revolution in a similar way that westernized countries took advantage of the industrial revolution to become economic powerhouses? So El Salvador, the first country. Did anyone see the Jack Mallers Bitcoin conference speech about this? As of now, El Salvador is set to become the first Bitcoin country and the first country to make Bitcoin legal tender and treat it as a world currency and have Bitcoin on their reserves. Clearly, they're going to be buying up BTC for their reserves, and they probably already started doing this. And of course, these countries have their own central banks. They can print money at will. So how long before they just start printing more money to buy up more BTC and make number go up? That really is the question. We're seeing a load of congressmen and congresswomen across the likes of Paraguay here. Carlitos Reala of Paraguay with the laser eyes. BTC to the moon is the message. Over in Panama as well, Gabriel Silva said that Panama cannot be left behind. If we want to become a true technology and entrepreneurship hub, we have to support cryptocurrencies. We'll be preparing a proposal to present at the assembly. Over in Brazil, Fabio Osterman here with the laser eyes, as to Gilson Marquez. And over in Mexico here, Congresswoman Indira Kempis retweeted Tyler Winklevoss's tweet, which said, first they ignore you, then suddenly Paraguay, Argentina, Panama, Brazil, El Salvador, and Nicaragua embrace BTC. And more laser eyes from Argentinian congressman there. So unlike President Bukele of El Salvador, the politicians listed here all come from different countries and only represent the constituents in regions they're elected. So do bear that in mind. However, this seems to speak to a larger movement towards crypto and in particular Bitcoin from people within these nations. And they talk about the fear of missing out. The FOMO looks to be real and the dominoes may start to fall in line. And if all these countries start buying up BTC, well, we don't really have to any longer worry about retail picking up the pieces and making number go up. You've already got corporations buying BTC, making number go up. So if you have central banks of these South American countries buying up BTC, printing more money, the number really is going to go up and up a long damn way. Then this article was quite an interesting one I saw on CoinGuest today. Berkshire Hathaway invests $500 million in Brazilian digital bank NUBANK. So within this, they haven't specifically mentioned a crypto-related gateway or anything like that, but NUBANK is a digital bank in Brazil that has managed to onboard over 40 million clients in the first 5 months of the year, 45,000 per day. And the digital bank has been recognized as an influential company in Latin America by Time and one of the most innovative by CNBC. And what is the biggest innovation? Right now, it is, of course, cryptocurrency. And I doubt we're going to see Charlie Munger or Warren Buffett make a U-turn on some of the weird comments they've made about Bitcoin in the past, calling it a scam, but they're going to be making money on it somehow. So maybe the investment in this company, which is likely to onboard crypto payments, or at least blockchain tech, is the way that they can extract some serious gains out of the crypto revolution. I'm sure they're not going to be left behind. Some of the best investors that have ever lived. The NUBANK website, I had a little look through. You can earn interest just holding funds on your account. Sounds like there may be a perfect product market fit for some DeFi here. They have digital salary portability. And all in all, they just sound like a rather forward-thinking company in a country that has a lot of individuals with mobile access, but many are unbanked. And it says that NUBANK is looking to seek further expansion and take as much as $1 billion in a next funding round, which could include SoftBank as well as other supporting entities. And if this deal does go through, they get this additional funding, NUBANK will become the second highest value fintech in the world after Stripe. It says the company currently offers a variety of services, credit card, debit card, rewards programs to underbanked consumers at affordable rates. A big offering in a nation where 55% of the population has no access to formal banking, interest rates are incredibly high, and brick and mortar banking services are ranked at some of the worst in the world. So this is a perfect fit again for crypto-related payments. Other banks in Brazil are offering things like QR-based payments and instant clearing of payments. Again, something that blockchain technology allows for. So I'm sure innovation-wise, NUBANK looks to be pushing into the blockchain space. That's my hunch from reading all into this. And I'm sure CoinDesk wouldn't have published that article if there wasn't a blockchain related backstory to all of this. And any excuse to get Charlie Munger dancing up on screen here. Look at him go. About 150 years of age, but he's still got it. Then we also have Microstrategy and Michael Saylor going for the home run here. Microstrategy is borrowing $400 million to buy more Bitcoin, whilst also writing down the value of his existing holdings in the first ever junk bond sale used for financing purchases of the volatile cryptocurrency. So Michael Vanderpop, or Crypto Michael, as you may have known from YouTube and Twitter, says that this news of them raising now $500 million to buy Bitcoin with interest for this at over 1.6 billion is a very big thing. And that's not a bear market signal. It's most surely a bull market signal. I totally agree. So essentially from this, what I understand is that they are getting $500 million, as it is quite cheap to acquire money these days, an interest rate of around 6.125%. And these notes will be sold in a private offering to qualified institutional buyers, and the funds from which will be used to purchase Bitcoin. So taking on roughly $500 million to buy BTC at an interest rate of 6.125% on an asset, Bitcoin, that grows circa 200% year on year. Not a bad play, and this is due to be repaid by the year 2028. So Michael Saylor is probably going to go down in history as one of the men with the biggest balls ever. The Microstrategy board must be so behind him right now because, you know, he's pulling off some really big moves, but when you understand Bitcoin and you just get it, I don't even think this is that big of a risk. By 2028, that's 7 years away, BTC could easily be worth 500K, maybe even up to $1 million, the rate at which money is being printed right now. And when you see all of this news, like nations adding Bitcoin as legal tender, adding it to their reserves, the number is definitely going to go up at a greater rate than 6.125% per year. This was the most updated figures I could find, but I believe they currently own around 90,000 BTC. And with the additional 500 million, there will be well over 100,000 Bitcoins held by MicroStrategy at that point. So rather crazy stuff indeed. Then in terms of more of a social infiltration from crypto here, Grand Theft Auto 6 will feature a fictional cryptocurrency. One of the biggest franchises in the world, the video game GTA, will feature Bitcoin or other cryptos. Contractors will pay the player with this currency when they need to make anonymous, untraceable payments. Maybe they'll use Monero. As we all know, BTC is very much transparent. However, this is one of the biggest selling video games of all time, I believe. I'm pretty sure most people have played this game at this point. And having crypto just being seeped into the mainstream attention like this is how you onboard a ton of the next generation of potential users. Kids are going to grow up playing this game, getting used to cryptocurrencies, and we're seeing the growth of NFTs in the gaming sector right now. It's just so obvious that crypto is here to stay and that the long-term trend is up only. Then in terms of reasons to be bullish on crypto right now, and in particular the Polkadot and Kusama ecosystem, as the Parachain auctions are now going live. On Kusama, we have a number of them penciled in. The first one starting on the 15th of June, and then they'll go on a weekly basis. The second slot going on the 22nd of June, and then from every 7 days after that, we have the third, fourth, and fifth slots going on. There's quite a few projects bidding for these, and this is a way to actually make some money because you can bond your KSM tokens to these projects and they will give you their token in return, and then you get your KSM back at the end of the Parachain lease. And I've got a few Polkadot plays up my sleeve. If you jump over to my Twitter, I'll link it down below. In terms of these Kusama Polkadot projects, would you prefer a video in the style of individual deep dives, which will take me a little bit longer, or would you like me to go through maybe 3 or 4 picks in one overview video at a time? Find my Twitter link down below, vote on this proposal, and I will bring a video out in the course of maybe the next 5 or 6 days on the Polkadot/Kusama ecosystem. So whilst the markets have not been looking particularly healthy as of late, I'm hoping most of us are keeping our diamond hands in play and staking our cryptocurrencies wherever we can to earn yield on them. As long as the number of crypto that you keep is going up, I'm sure we will be okay in the long run. I personally use Celsius for quite a bit of my crypto holdings, and I really like the service that they provide on a range of different altcoins. Go and check them out. I'll leave a link to this down below. You can get $40 in sign up if you use that link and deposit $400 on here, and you can get 8.88% on stablecoin assets. So that was our roundup for today. Many reasons to be bullish on crypto for the long run. Many reasons to be bullish specifically on BTC for the long run. Even though the price action may not be the best right now, the undertones to this market are most certainly bullish. I do not believe we are entering a bear market, and I'm really looking forward to the day where we can see our official breakout from this bear trend and on to the next leg of the bull run. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Subscribe if you're new here, and I will catch you in the next one. Goodbye.